Hi and welcome to my new learning series on YouTube. Control the web with C#. Did you ever want to automate an existing website, or want to fetch data from it? Or maybe you want to automate the login, or select a field or drop-down box as a standard for a special site? If yes, you are at the right place. I have several years of experience in automation in my company and can show you best practices and much more. All that we need is a fresh Visual Studio project for Windows Forms, and a big cup of coffee. So let's start direct with the interesting practical part. The first thing we need to easily load and interact with web pages is Chrome and the Chrome driver. It is also possible to use the already installed Chrome on your computer, but for this you also need the corresponding version of the Chrome driver and must also update it with every Chrome update. If you wish, I can explain this in a later video. But now as a first start and to keep it simple, let's use the Chrome for testing that we can download together with the matching Chrome driver from this page. I'll put the link in the description. You can follow all the steps in this video one-to-one and customize it later according to your needs. After both have been downloaded and unpacked, we need the file Chrome driver exe and the complete folder where the Chrome exe can be found. For easy handling, we create a new folder where we put the whole folder Chrome Win64 and the file Chrome driver exe. We will need these paths later in the code. Now it's time to create our Windows Forms project in Visual Studio. If you need help with this step, I have included the link to my basic C# and Windows Forms tutorial in the description. If you haven't already done so, it's always a good tip to watch my other videos and tutorials on programming with C#. If something is missing, I am always grateful for any kind of feedback. So you have ideas for more videos or a topic you are interested in? Put them in the comments. So now that we have created our project, we need as a first step 2 NuGet packages that we load into our project. These are the Selenium WebDriver and a support package. That is what we need. So now that we have that, is our next step, create a small UI. Since this is just a first simple overview, we'll keep it as simple as possible with just a few buttons and text boxes. That is enough for our example. Now comes the coding part. Let's define a few required variables. First of all, our browser where we can load and handle the web pages. Also, we need a string that contains our website. The stopwatch is not mandatory, we will only use it to declare a max loading time. The first part includes the creation of a method that is used to initialize the Chrome driver and load our website. We use task run and await to start this method and get a bool variable as return value to measure the success. Using task run and await has many advantages, including that the UI does not freeze for the user during execution. If you want to know more about this, I'll put a link to the video with this topic in the description. Or you can just check out my channel. So if the loading of the website was successfully and complete, we can see it in the text box where the page source data is visible. This is only to have a better overview of the code. Not really needed by only some variables. In the Initialize Chrome driver method, we first create a new instance of the stopwatch and a bool variable that we use as a return value to check the success. The next step is to create a variable that defines our Chrome options. As a test, we only set one argument. Many more are possible here. For example, to hide or maximize the Chrome window, depending on what is needed. We can also set the location of our Chrome file that we want to use in the Chrome options. For this, we use the path of our Chrome file that we have already downloaded. The next step is to create our Chrome driver service. To do this, we use the path of the Chrome driver file we also downloaded. Now we can create a new Chrome driver with the help of Chrome options and the Chrome driver service and initialize our browser. After we have set a setting regarding the cookies, we can use our new created browser to load our website. Just for test, we return the success variable as it is to be able to start the tool. Now we are ready for our first test. As we see, the Google website is loading fine. But there is an issue that we didn't know in front. There is a pop-up that opens at any start from the website and we have to click manual on the accept button. That is not okay. Let's fix that. That is not really part of our issue for the pop-up, but let us at first use our stopwatch to define a max loading time from 15 seconds. If the loading is longer than this time, the method will be abort. With the title, we can check if the website is already loaded and set the success bool to true. Until this is not reached, we start with the goto command the loop again until the max time is reached or the site is loaded. This is an easy way to wait until the website is loaded and return then the true value. Now that we set in the if-else statement the success bool to true, we get the page source from the website after it's loaded. Now we can check for the pop-up issue. We can make a right click with our mouse on the button and click on Inspect in the context menu. This loads the developer tool from Google Chrome and we can see in the background of the website. With this little button at top left at the source page, you're able to select any control that you need to automate in your code. After click, you can search in the right site for the ID of that control. This we can use to load this individual control into our code, and depend on it we are able to automate its function. For our use case, we need the accept button to be clicked at site is fully loaded. Because we need to click this button only after the site is fully loaded, we can use this part of our if statement for our code. So if the site is loaded, we fetch the needed accept button and click it. To identify, we use the ID that we found in the source section from the site. Now it seems to be fine. The site is loaded and the pop-up is accepted by the code. But who can we use the site from our code? Let's create another button in our UI to send our search request to the needed field from the website. The code to get the search field control is in general the same than we used for the pop-up button. But because it's a text box, we have to send data to it and not click it like the other control. To make our search request button working, we need at first the ID from the search field from the website. We can use the same way to get it like we did before. So just right-click on any place of the website and click the Inspect field in the context menu to open the DevTools to find the needed code behind data and the ID from our text box field. Also possible to use F12 to open this view. You see it's working fine. But we need another piece of code to click the search button after we send text to the search field. Of course we can use it direct after the text is sent with after a short wait time, but for this example we use a separate button to click this. So now there is another issue that we found. The search text is sent successfully to the field in the website. But it seems that the search button is hidden because of the open dropdown. So let's also fix that by send the escape key to the search field direct after send our search request to close the dropdown. That looks much better now. Google is loading and we get the page source into our text box. Our search request is sent and we are able to start the search. Depend on the button that we used for send the request, we get the first result from Google and the website is open. So everything working. In the next videos we will check on other topics for web automation. For example, to control a dropdown and select a special value out of the values. So keep learning. Feel free to check my other content in my channel.